Every day should be filled with cheers and applause from eager audiences, traveling far and wide to listen to the brilliant Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. Those people are so fond of my music, and can you blame them?
Yes, dear, but will that provide for the sustenance of this family? You have a good and noble heart, my son. I'm glad you are enjoying yourself, but as long as you are under our wings, it is your duty, as it is your father's, to help contribute to the income of the family.
Duty? I grow tired of hearing the word. It's all you and father really talk about. I want the fame I deserve. I want to travel again, touring across Europe from one court to another. The child prodigy must take his rightful place again. The halls of emperors, kings, and queens were open to me. They delighted in listening to my brilliance. Of course, I did not expect to find any really refined audience here in Salzburg, but it's even worse than I feared. Father and I are merely groveling for a master that has no sense of art, nor any respect for the intricacies of what it means to be an artist. It asks us not with applying our skills to create art, but with slogging like laborers.
I hear the very same from both you and your father each day. Yours is a very respectable position, and it makes for decent living. But if working there makes you so unhappy, my dear boy, you really must speak to your father. You know I would never stand in your way. Hard work and patience always pay off in the end. And Archbishop Colorado...
Archbishop! Mother of Archbishop! Oh, Colorado! He can lick my...
Wolfgang!
He's not able to see the difference between my genius and his aim. He denied my request to travel to Mannheim and Paris.
The Archbishop is your employer, as well as your father's. If that is his decision, I'm afraid there's not a lot you can do about it.
I think there is. In fact, I already did.
My son, what is the meaning of this mischievous glare? What sin have you committed?
Oh, I merely wrote to him to give him my resignation. I even added some little drawings that he might find amusing.
Oh, what a reckless son I have. Do you ever think of the consequences?
The consequences? The consequence that the world will see my genius? The consequence that we will travel across Europe again? A mother's aim should be to encourage her son, especially when he's a genius. It's your duty.
Johannes Chrysostomus Wolfgangus Theophilus Mozart, you will not take that tone with me, young man.
But my talent is wasted here in Salzburg. I want to take my chances again in the courts of Europe. I want to follow in the paths of brave men like Bach, Handel, Gluck and Haydn. The longer I wait, the sooner glory, fortune and fame will grow tired of my absence.
Glory, fortune, fame? But at what cost? It's such a pleasure having you at my side for once, my dear. All those long months when you were gone as a boy, and there I was at home, missing the sight of my dear son, growing into such a fine young man. A mother's fondest wish is for her child's happiness.
Well, my only happiness would be to write a real masterpiece, and then tell Colorado we can shove it up his ass.
Wolfgang, you should know better than to antagonize powerful people. Your rash tongue has gotten you into enough trouble as it is.
I only tell the truth to mediocre people.
Because of your reckless actions, your father may find himself unemployed. He would not be the first victim of the Archbishop's spite.
I'm sorry that I'm not as unambitious as father.
Do not talk about your father in such an ungrateful manner. He was overlooked for the position of Kapellmeister only because he invested so much of his time in you. He put you on the highest pedestals at the feet of emperors and kings. Your toils cost him greatly, and he put his personal ambition aside to ensure you flourished. He gave you everything.
Mother, you know I love you. And I know that father gave me everything. But here in Salzburg, it feels as if I'm locked up. Like a bird in a cage. All I want to do is spread my wings and fly. Fly. Oh. Good day, father.
A letter from Archbishop Colorado. That must be for the festivities at the court of Salzburg. I must hasten to get everything ready for tomorrow.
Oh, I don't think that shall be necessary, father.
What's that now?
Oh, I only think I bought you some time.
The resignation? Services no longer required? Snotty little son?
Snotty? Did he really say snotty?
And I may add insolent. What were you thinking handing in resignation like that? Did you think this through for just 1 second? You've put my position in jeopardy just as well as your own. The Mozarts will no longer be welcome at the court.
What is the court compared to the world, father?
Silence! I will not be as gentle with words as Archbishop Colorado. Your impudence in the face of our patron might bring bitter winters to this household. For years I've awaited my chance to become Kapellmeister, and now you have crushed the last remnants of hope in your father's heart. You were my pride, my joy. I've put your wealth and fame before my own. But your immeasurable arrogance has clearly blinded you from using your common sense and made you forget your gratitude. And for what? What do you hope to accomplish with this folly?
I am meant for greater things than the Archbishop's tiny head could possibly understand. He and his cronies lacked vision to see that my glory would reflect positively on the court and benefit the miserable little lives. Colorado doesn't understand music. He denied my request to travel to Mannheim or even The Hague. I had no choice.
Mannheim. So that's it. Now I understand your true motives. You've ruined the Mozarts, and all for your own burning desires to follow the frivolous skirts of that Weber girl.
It's not for Aloysia that I want to go to...
I will not hear another word about that woman. You want to sacrifice your career for a girl? You want to throw away everything we've worked for from the moment you and your sister were born? We've traveled thousands of miles with no security of income just for your talents to unfold. And now you want to throw it all away. Now that we've almost reached our dream to become Kapellmeister, I forbid you to go to Mannheim to the Webers.
It's your dream to become Kapellmeister. My dream is to live in wealth, luxury.
And you can have all that here, with security of income. But no, you choose to follow that family of beggars with a girl who only likes you to get famous.
At least they're not selling their talents cheap like you.
You would be nothing without me.
No, I'm nothing because of you.
That boy will someday be the death of me.
Come now, my dear. You know his temper. These are just the tempestuous words of an adolescent. You know as well as I do that he's lost without our guidance and wisdom.
And look where that has brought us. This wretched family will no longer have an income thanks to the stupidity and the arrogance of your ingenious son.
He reminds me of another impetuous young man. One destined to become a priest who chose to study law and philosophy, and then abandoned his studies to become a talented musician. He met a beautiful, intelligent young lady and married her. He is only following his heart.
There's not a more painful creature on this planet than a musician who follows his heart with no patron and no work.
Leopold.
Oh, I forgot. There is one. An old musician with no patron and no work.
My dear, now is not the time to wallow in self-pity, but to take action. All is not lost.
There is still one powerful man standing between God and Archbishop Colorado. One whose will is law.
Emperor Joseph.
If only a skillful master of rhetoric could...
Of course. I must regain the favor of the court. Yes. Yes. Emperor Joseph might intercede and show us mercy. He is a patron of the arts after all, and he tends to have a liking to our son, no matter how unbearable he is at times. But if Wolfgang has its mindset on visiting the Webers in Mannheim, then there's nothing that could put a halt to this absurd outburst.
Never underestimate a mother's power of persuasion when it comes to a son. I will convince Wolfgang to leave for Paris and do everything in my power to ensure that the gates of the French court are once again open to our family. Not so much has changed that they shouldn't welcome us once more.
Spending all this time away from you during our travels was my biggest burden. But I persisted, because I saw the talent in our son and I knew what he could become. But he's no longer that rosy-cheeked prodigy to be fond of or to be marveled at. There's quite a number of skillful musicians at the court who will fear for their livelihoods and will not be happy to see him.
Perhaps that will help our son's poise
and diplomacy.
Oh, but my darling, when I'm so far away from you in Paris, will you miss me as I shall miss you?
My darling wife, of course I will.
What a lovely aria you sang this evening, my dear sister. It's by far my favorite by Gluck.
Thank you, I agree. It's one of my better renditions. I really did it justice. I trust you enjoyed yourself?
Oh, yes.
It is quite a kerfuffle that has been going on in the Americas, don't you think?
Yes, lovely.
Might we go for a walk later to that new planet of brilliant hush I've just discovered? I believe it's called Georgian Sirius?
No, thank you.
Tell me, my dear sister, what troubles you so?
Oh, really, Aloysia, it's nothing you should worry about. It's no matter of importance.
Don't you mean nobody of importance? A woman's heart can recognize a turmoil of passion and cannot be fooled so easily. Besides, I'm much more versed in the art of lying than you are, my dear sister.
Why? Are you getting more practice now that you're married?
Really, Constanza, my Joseph is the most attentive and agreeable of husbands, unlike some of my previous suitors.
You should give Mozart more credit. He's a very accomplished man. And he did help you with your singing. The delicacies of his compositions. Oh, it's music to my ears. And he dances so well.
I haven't said anything about Mozart.
Well, yes, mock me all you want, but my heart is so anxious, fluttering so much as if it's about to leap out.
Clearly, before long it will be dancing a jig.
Oh, and he sits down at the piano and touches the keys. All the depths of my soul tremble in tune with the music. Oh, sometimes I feel so at ease. But at other times I hardly know myself anymore.
Constanza, the language you speak is quite the language of burgeoning first love. But tell me, my dear sister, does Mozart know about your love? He must know your feelings, if we want to know whether he shares them or not.
You must not tell him.
Tell him what?
Oh, but you are his friend. He might reveal his true feelings to you. Yes, you should tell him. Oh, but if... Oh, no, please don't tell him, not a word.
You're far too excited to decide for yourself. To take action. Mozart will be here pretty soon.
Pretty soon?
I expect him any moment.
No, please, do not betray my feelings. Do not expose my heart to his contempt. His contempt would be my death.
Do not worry. I would never forget that you're my I'm pretty confident his heart would welcome your confession.
You really think so? Oh, you think I should tell him?
The prodigal son. Well, here's the opportunity now.
I don't see how I could utter those words to his face if I could not be sure that he will return my feelings.
Constanza, go to your room. You're looking pale and shaking like a leaf. You cannot talk to him in this state. Let me act for you, and I'm sure everything will be fine. Good morrow, Herr Mozart.
Frau Lange, old Frau Lange.
Glad to see you as well. I've been recently made aware by some acquaintances that you wrote a little song for me. How does it go? Wonderful melody. But what are the words? Pray do tell me.
The words. Leck mich im Arsch, leck mich im Arsch.
Charming as always.
If I remember correctly, you were the one doing the charming in Paris.
I'd rather think I was more successful here, in Vienna.
I cannot blame your husband. Phoebus' family is very welcoming.
Indeed. I heard you paid my sister Constanza a visit yesterday, in private. Tell me, are you planning on pursuing every Weber in the country? I still have 2 other sisters and a widowed mother, if you're interested.
I assure you nothing so ambitious. You see, I've always preferred duets to quartets. I only have 2 hands.
Nothing to be embarrassed about. Every man has his shortcomings. Do it then. Do you think Constanza will be able to answer your serenade? I remember I needed enormous strength to tell you up.
Well, you, as a singer, were able to master fiddling. I do not see why she wouldn't put the same amount of effort in being agreeable.
I do not blame you for singling out Constanza. She seems good to you. Even her name comes with the promise of something steady and enduring. And with a man such as yourself, she will have a lot to endure indeed.
Aloysia, your husband needs you in the kitchen for the Kartoffeln. Herr Mozart.
Miss? That your sister hurt me more than anybody else ever could in this room.
You should forget her. It's only banter. She's very kind-hearted.
Then kind hearts must surely run in the family.
Oh, Herr Mozart.
Oh, please, only Mozart to you.
Well, Mozart, what brings you to our humble abode today?
I was wondering.
Yes?
Would you have a word of kind farewell to this outgoing artist, to this artist who is now a friend and soon to become a stranger?
Oh, farewell. You will have to leave us so suddenly?
My duty calls me away. My father relies on an income that I cannot provide him here in Vienna. The Archbishop, you see, is still not quite fond of me. And he uses his influence to prevent me from giving concerts here. So I must resort to teaching music to some spoiled, wealthy children in the north to earn my soup.
Then we shall have to part.
I'm afraid so. It's a very painful parting.
Constanza, should prepare for the feast. Did you see Herr Mozart out?
Yes, dear sister. Well, Mozart, I must confess the news of your sudden departure fills me with great sadness. I find that I've grown quite fond of your presence in our household. I fear I might not fare well in your absence.
Your sister told me you were good to me.
I cannot deny it.
Please say that you're more than good to me, dear one. Say that you're more than polite and courteous. These arms are yours if you want them. This heart, this worthless heart, is yours if you want it. My talent, such as it is yours if you want it. But there's only one thing left to know. Constanza, do you love me?
Can it be true? Yes! Yes! Oh, I love you. I've loved you ever since I've met you, and I will love you forever.
Mozart. It's from your father. I suppose you better answer him at once and tell him about the engagement. Congratulations, dear little sister.
Oh, yes, let's write to your father and tell him about the good news.
Is he very excitable, dear sister?
Oh, there is so much to be excited about. I'll feel so happy, as if I could embrace the wind and float on eagle wings to blue skies and bathe in the golden seas of the stars.
Very poetic, sister. It seems as though...
Oh, but I just tell Joseph about it. I'll be so happy. One big family under the same roof. My dear, I'll be right back. I expect you to be finished sooner than you can compose a divertimento.
I'll be done before you can even spell it.
Those voracious, money-addicted clowns can't wait to get their money back. But I've told them to be patient. Haven't you handed in the money yet? Enough! Once I'm finally immune of myself, I must make arrangements. I'm so frustrated, I'm shitting oranges.
From the way you received my last letter, I see that you trust the gossips and writings of others more than me, which means that you have no faith in me at all. Please do trust me. I deserve your trust. It really is not my fault, dear father, that you haven't received any money from me yet. It's a momentary bad season. From your last letters, I gather that you believe that I do nothing at all but enjoying myself. You are quite wrong in this respect.
Oh, dear Wolfgang, your first actions when I leave you to yourself are guided by your quest for pleasures, squandering money on lavish parties, leaving nothing for your laboring father.
I dare say I'm not having any fun.
I'm even forced to move out because of some silly gossip, with not a true word of it. If I were obliged to marry every girl with whom I had a little fun, I should already have at least 200 wives. What?
You request an explanation from the words I wrote to you at the end of my last letter. How much I would have loved to bare my heart to you, dear father, but the censure I might have received from you held me back.
If only my censure could ever stop your foolish behavior.
You are startled at this idea. I beg you, dearest, best of fathers, listen to what I have to say. I have too much religion, too much love for my neighbor, too honest an attitude to deceive an innocent girl. Too much horror and revulsion at illnesses, too much love for my own health, to get entangled with whores. Furthermore, I dare say that I have not yet done anything of this kind with any woman.
Oh, I heard quite differently, my son. Denying something of which I haven't accused you yet says a lot about your innocence.
In my eyes, a single person is only half alive. I must say that I'm in love again. Please do not let yourself get startled here either.
Get to the point, my son.
Now, who is the one I love? Please don't get a fright.
Oh, no. Oh, no, not one of the Webers.
Yes, one of the Webers. Not Josepha, not Sophie, but...
Constanze, the one in the middle.
She's the best-hearted, the most adept. In a word, the best of them. She is not ugly, and nothing less than beautiful. Her entire beauty consists of small eyes and a beautiful figure. She's not witty, but has enough common sense to accomplish her duties as a wife and mother.
Oh, but those are some really nice qualities, my son. Everything a father could wish for his genius son, the emperor of music, is a wife with just enough common sense.
I shall not relent in begging you that I might rescue this poor girl and me with her, and I may furthermore say make us all happy, for that is, of course, what you will be when I am as well. I see from your letters that you really can have no objection to her, for she's an honest, good girl.
From a good home. Well, he certainly remembers how much I admire the Webers.
We want each other. We love each other. Everything that you've written me and could still write to me would be nothing.
So it would seem you have nothing more to write me about, nor have I for you. We shall deal with the other matters in person.
I do not wish to reproach myself with anything, so I wish you well in every way and kiss your hands 1,000 times. I am eternally your most obedient son, Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart.
Marrying a Weber, this obsession of his! I hope that after your mother had to die so inappropriately in Paris, you will not also have your father's death on your conscience. I kiss you, your sincere father.
Poor mother. I'm so sorry. How much I miss her. I hope not to miss him as well. I only wish to tell him how much I love Constanze.
And, my dear, have you finished? We have so much to prepare for the wedding.
I dealt with everything accordingly.
Does that mean that your father...
Oh, he says he loves you already and cannot wait to meet you.
I'm the happiest girl in all Vienna.
Yes, yes. Let's rejoice and announce our engagement to the whole empire and prepare everything for the marriage.